What's poppin', everybody? I'm Fly, and I'm here with Bud.
Yo.
And welcome back to another ATBA weekly review. It's week 2 here at the ATBA, and some exciting matches happened. Some things happened. We're gonna go ahead and hop right into it, starting off with our first match.
The Asterisk. Asterisk virtual battle versus wRenn's Kansas City Spirits.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is tough for wRenn here.
Tough match for wRenn.
Yeah. It was a tough call because he had Sub Comfey out, Calm Mind up, and then Aster killing reception, brought in Lapras, clicked Dragon Dance 2 times, clicked Icicle Spear, clicked EQ, and that was basically the game. It ended in
did it end in a 6-0?
6-0 indeed.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize. Yeah, it ended in a 6-0 in favor of Aster. The non-defiant King Gambit was definitely something I wasn't expecting. I definitely thought he was going to be running defiant because it was right there. The Intimidate was right there.
And I think that's probably wise because, because you don't want to. At that point, if you have King Gambit's counter on wRenn's team, technically is just having that Hitmontop.
Yeah.
But he also has Intimidate, so wRenn is going to be forced to not bring Intimidate if he still wants Hitmontop to counter the King Gambit. So
it was just
I think it was just them thinking, Aster thinking ahead of look, wRenn can't do this because this is the thing that he needs to come in, and if I'm choice band, sucker punch, this is the thing that can take this, so he can't just say I'm gonna just bring this in, intimidate you, and risk getting a defiant boost, and now I'm +2.
That was the other
sucker
thing.
punches and stuff or whatever.
The other thing was the parting shot. So that's why I was really just like, whoa. Access a parting shot and intimidate, and he was just like, I don't need it,
he only went with parting shot, and that was more for just for that
initiative.
That
switch initiative.
I love parting.
It's such a good move. The chilling reception into Lapras for the defense boost and the setup and the D dance and Ice Appear.
And I'm pretty sure he must have had Lapras is kind of thick, especially anyway.
Yeah,
but I think there was probably some. I didn't check the.
I don't check the team builds because I want to be surprised on my honest reaction when things happen.
So I didn't really look at that part, but I wonder if there was some special defense investment, or if it was just HP.
Yeah,
and maybe a little bit of attack, or maybe a certain amount of speed, so that way maybe at +1 8 out speeds. The
cool thing about running Lapras
maybe
that way is
enough for +1 to outspeed Jolly, Cinderace, something like that. I wonder where, I don't know where the EVs fall in there, but it was a good bring. I wonder if it was lucky or loaded dice.
I wonder if it was loaded dice.
I'm pretty sure it's loaded dice, unless they're just lucky. They get hit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. When I hit stuff like that, and I don't have loaded dice, 2 hits.
I'm hitting 2 max.
Which is good. At least we've seen some good plays from loaded dice already. We saw Venu the first week, now Lapras week 2. So loaded dice is getting some love with these. These move sets.
Next match is Lapras is the MVP for that, obviously. The next match is the LA Pyroballs versus the Alto Mare Slush Rush. Unfortunately, it was a 6-0 in favor of
Brass's
Brass, and I say unfortunately because it was a DC. DC
and
definitely.
Based on what Zev was telling us about the game, where there was a little bit of hacks at the beginning of it. That technically wouldn't have mattered, but Zev didn't necessarily realize that. So when they replayed it, they went off of script from where the hacks would have happened. So then something that Zev had KO'd in the original match, it wasn't KO'd when they replayed it, and then that thing, which was Rass's Mousehold, just kind of wrecked shop. So
should have been.
It's unfortunate for Zev, but
Should have been a closer call
and stuff like that. Yeah,
should have been a closer call for sure. Definitely shouldn't have been a 6-0, 5-0 if worse in Zev's favor, I should say.
Yeah. At worst, it should have been the 5-0, which is what it was. That he had already taken out one mon, the mouse hold. Yeah. But hey, when you don't know your set and you don't know the reasoning to why, like the other person is trying to play it that way, because what had happened was the Necrozma on Zev's team got burned, but it had still picked up the KO on mouse hold. And Raz thought that burn would be beneficial. So since he couldn't replicate the percentage chance for the burn, they were just going to play it from that point on. But Zev was also special and running the Necrozma's special move, which is I forget what it does, but like even if
Photon Geyser.
Photon Geyser, where even if he was physical and got burned, it would switch the damage over to special, since that would do more damage. So if he was burned and killed Mousehold with the special side of it, it wouldn't even really matter in this situation. But Zev's also was special regardless. So that's just on Zev not knowing his own sets and knowing his own Pokemon that intently, where he can pick up these things. And because at that point you could be like, hey, it don't even matter, I'm special, and then just continue on, because like clearly Mousehold was an issue for this team. And it's just
Mousehold definitely
when you get a pick on something like that early, and the DCs happen, you gotta make sure, hey, this thing was super critical for me to get rid of, and I don't know if I can get rid of it with you having more information on my team based off of the replay and us doing stuff differently. So
yeah, it was unfortunate, but it is what it is. Things happen, and we're here for fun anyway. But like I said, Mousehold pop on went crazy. Always does, always will. And Mousehold ended up picking up all the kills? No, 4 kills. Picked up 4 kills. So clearly Mousehold MVP there.
Easy.
Definitely unfortunate DC, but is the way of Pokemon, right? Next is the Spikemuth Thieves versus the Fryslan. I believe I'm saying that right. First,
yeah.
This was unfortunately another DC Nintendo Fix Your Stuff.
Fix it.
This is a 3-0 in the Furrets' favor. Lupin, the coach of the Spikemuth Thieves, put up a good fight. It was a tough matchup for them. They first did not pull any stops, honestly. I was surprised Annihilate showed up. Just wasn't expecting it. And there was an unfortunate low roll on Dragon Darts on, I think, Umbreon, that would have at least dropped it down to a 2-0. I still think Dragapult kills itself because of Life Orb. But that I believe, because they had to go to Showdown and the percentages were there. So it was like 21-20, 20-19 or something like that. If it was all 21s, Umbreon dies, Umbreon lived with like 2 HP, something like that.
Super low.
Then Primarina came in and got the sub up and started sending up Calm Minds, and from there the fat lady did sing. Just Primarina was able to just pick up the rest of the kills, but it was tough for Lupin to get through that sub, and by the time he did get through the sub, it was just a little too late. But it was still a good fight at the end of the day. I think it was Belly Bolt took that move from Annihilate. Goodness gracious. The move where you like use all your HP to kill.
Final Gambit.
Annihilate fired it off, and Belly Bolt said okay. And I just thought it was cool, because usually I see it, whatever's there is dead.
Final Gambit, something dies. Typically 9 times out of 10 something dies when Final Gambit comes out. But Belly Bolt's been kind of nice for Lupin. I think that's gonna be.
I think it's a staple mons, for sure.
Yeah,
he's been using it really well. MVP
and then there. I think Triple's Slowbro, like just getting some of the. I think Triple Slowbro kind of opened up a lot of his plays by tanking the Shadow Balls from Azel and getting rid of that. Because then that kind of let Triple be able to be like, okay, well, he doesn't have this thing that's fast, because he was worried about it being scarfed and the things that it could do. So that kind of helped open it up, which helped open up things for Umbreon. And then once that got like the poison on Melodic, and everything just kind of, it just started to slowly steamroll. So I'm actually more proud that Lupin kind of kept it that close, because there could have been a lot of stall going on with Slowbro, Umbreon.
It was
just like it could have got ugly.
That was a thick team he had to get through, man. It was a thick
could have
team.
got ugly. So to get that down to a 3-0 was, I mean, really good, really good.
Yeah.
Especially with the frustration of like DC and having to go to Showdown.
Yeah. I definitely would give the Primarina MVP there.
I'm thinking so too.
Just, being able to set up that sub tank and do the Calm Minds and start firing off damage is really good. Next on the list is the Tampa Bay Mutinis versus the Fargo Force, and that was a 2-0. That was Shu versus Rog, I believe.
That is correct.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think that was my favorite battle of this week.
What part of it? What made you feel that way?
There was just so many like unique things happening, and for those who know, that's why I love Pokemon. I'm here for the unique stuff. I'm here for we don't run this move on this Pokemon. Well, today I did, or I don't run this item on this Pokemon, but today I did. That's why I'm here, especially for Draft League. You can do stuff like that and get away with it. So like Hurricane Slitherwing, like what?
Oh,
what?
And it chunked.
Hello?
It did like 75. It felt like 75% to Great Tusk too. That was
big damage. That was big damage. All right.
That was nasty.
Shu didn't expect it. I didn't expect it.
Because Shu was playing around it pretty well.
Really well.
Especially with like how Shu used Meowscarada.
Yeah.
Even though it was using the protect and was just turning it to a normal type. So then like when he acrobatics the Slither Wing, it didn't do as much damage, but like Meowscarada just can't take a first impression. But like it was a good way to get around the first impression.
Yep.
See what he was gonna do. He still got some big hits off into it. Like
it was good.
And then the Vikavolt to
the Terra.
First the Golden Gold tanking.
I was gonna say the Golden Gold read was so good. It was the so Golden Gold
tanking the
Overquill liquidation. Oh my god, bro! What?
That was in the rain too, wasn't it?
In the rain.
Terra Water in the rain liquidation from Overquill. Took that, KO'd it with Thunderbolt. Like that's what broke the game open for Shu.
For real, that's
what broke the game open for Shu.
Overquill was such a threat.
It was just like,
yeah, man.
It was one of those things where it's like, I mean, he probably it's one of those things like, does he pick up the kill if it's just if he just clicks a dark move there? But it's like that's in.
But that was the crazy part.
In the rain, Terra Water, like
no. But here's the crazy part. In the video in the fight, Shu called that and he brought Cobra Berry to tank the dark type.
That's true.
And I'm just like, did he expect the Cobra Berry to go liquidate?
Because that's just them both having their counters.
Yeah.
I forgot about Shu's Cobra Berry. I forgot about that because he did say that. But yeah, that's just like them seeing like, okay, this is the counter to this. Like, and then even then, like maybe Rog's reading, okay, well, he's not staying in here.
Right. He's obviously I'm clicking a dark move. He's not staying in
here. He can't stay in here. Nothing on his team is going to want to take this Terra Water in the rain liquidation. Like, and then so like those plays right there, like
those were good, man. I live for those.
That opened the game up for Shu, and then Vikavolt came in with the agility and just
Terra Electric agility. Vikavolt was hitting hard,
so much
hitting hard, bro. I think it's like base 130, 145, something like that. It was hitting hard, man.
Just big hit.
I just wow. Unfortunately, there was a big miss that it didn't matter too much at the end of the day because it still played out for Shu, but that high horsepower miss. I know Shu is loving Great Tusk and wanting Great Tusk to continue to push for the MVP race, the kill leaderboard race. So it not being able to get that KO, I know that kind of got to him a little bit, but at the end of the day,
The win's the win.
The win's the win. The dub's the dub. We're here for the dubs. Exactly.
We end up 2-0. I think she was 2-0
at that point.
I
feel like I can give the MVP to Vikavolt, but at the end of the day, Gholdengo taking that.
The Gholdengo, that's what exactly I have down here is like, all right, because I wrote down my MVPs and I was like, choose Vikavolt versus Rog, but shout out to Gholdengo for picking up the KO versus Overclow to break the game open. So it was just like, because that was the rain threat, and then after that, I mean, like, I can't remember if Shu had already knocked off the choice scarf from Pelipper at that point, but it's just like, man. Like after that, Pelipper was just kind of useless, and I think even Rog then just used it brought it in on a sack to get something else out against the Vikavolt. I don't know. It was one of those things, but it was just everything started to kind of crumble at that point. Like once this was the rain abuser, Overcool hits hard in general. So then like losing that, it was huge.
Yeah,
it was huge.
I actually skipped you over your batch, so we'll do yours next.
It's okay.
I was like, why didn't he correct me? The Dallas Slither Wings coached by the biggest bud versus the Jalisco Hawluchas coached by Rio. But how'd that go, man?
This was just me making dumb play after dumb play. I think what kind of broke this game open was what happened early really. Like what kind of threw me down was I made a bad play with Arcaluda. I'm clicking Electro. I had Scizor out in front of me, and I was +1 from defense from stamina already. I'm AV, and I was like, and I'm not in the rain, but I'm gonna click Electro Shot because I'm gonna get the special attack boost. And if he brings in Clodsire or Jolteon, they can't kill me with 2 EQs or Jolteon wouldn't be able to kill me with anything at that point. But like I can once the Electro Shot is done, I can literally just EQ twice on both of them and they die. Even if Jolteon terrored into something else, it still died to EQ unless it had a bunch of HP investment. So I was just like, I'll just click this, and by the time the second part of Electro Shot hit, Arcaludon was like in the red. So it was just like, and then from there, things just started to crumble. And then, when you have a kind of stereotypical rain team,
it's very easy to prep for.
Well, and true. But when the other person has Clodsire, who has water absorber and is ground type, and is poison type, so he's not even weak to grass, which is like those are like the three, like flying, grass, water, electric. Those are the things that kind of benefit from being in the rain. Yeah. So it's just like
Clodsire kind of just answers all of that. So it's just like, there's just not much you can really do. Yeah. Like there's just not much you can really do about it. And it just kind of sat in front of me and just kind of chilled. And I had to keep making plays to try to predict it coming in to keep it weakened. So then that way, like, and when you have a lot of special attackers, especially, like that's the main thing is like when you have rain teams, a lot of times your teams end up being special attacking. So like, Clodsire is a special wall, which is why on my Arcaludon I built, and I had a pretty set like EV spread on this thing to make sure like it was like serious nature. Man, you talk about like numbers. The numbers you
was,
went in the
I went. Oh my God! I thought I was labbing with envy in them, bro. Like it was just. Oh my God, the spreads was just fun.
The spreads were there, the calcs were there, and it just
and then I just threw it all in the dumpster. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. I just threw it all in the dumpster. So, but yeah, it was just like I made that bad play, and there was just some other little like plays later in the game that Rio just outplayed me. My brain is blocking all of them out because I just got clapped.
I understand.
I got clapped.
It's like that sometimes. Last but not least, it is the Blackthorn Kingdras coached by me versus the Miami Heat Trends coached by Crowzone. And that honestly, I'm low-key proud of myself because I actually put up with G Fire in the sun. I am.
I was like, gee, yeah, got it. Yeah, that was my thing. That's what I wrote down, was that your Swampert
has been
getting rid of that gouging fire.
Just amazing.
You had like a crazy low roll for the second EP to KO from there. I was like,
yeah.
You even said like crit, and you were like, oh, that's a high roll. I was like, that's a high. Like, what was your low roll? You had to have gotten.
I got the lowest roll on that first EP. I got the lowest roll of that first EP because I was like, oh, we crit. No, yeah, it's just, and the fact that he was able to tank +1. It was at +1 in the sun, and he was able to keep up with it. Was huge. It helped so much. Shout out to Crow though, because he capitalized. I'm sure he calced it. I don't remember the calculations on the top of my head, but I misclicked heavy with Komodo. I clicked Rock Slide when I meant to click Drain Punch, and I feel like it might have just been drift because Nintendo products are huge, or maybe I was just moving too fast and it didn't take, or whatever the case may be. But I was definitely surprised when Rock Slide came out, and he clicked Sing and he landed it, and it put my boy out of commission for the rest of the fight. Which sucks because I want him to compete in that kill leader. I wanted him to compete in that kill leader, but now he was like a whole week down because he didn't get he was taking a little nappy nap. That being said, even after we missed that first T wave on his Terra Fairy Galarian Articuno, Iron Crowns came in and put his big boy pants on and said, "No, I got you. Watch this." And I mean, he just started hitting stuff. He finished the Galarian Articuno off with its Calm Minds and everything. Cutter. Yeah, it had the Tachyon Cutter and it ate right through the Calm Mind.
Actually, I like once the first hit of Tachyon Cutter hit, I was like, wait, wasn't this thing?
Yeah, it was. He set up.
It didn't even matter. It didn't even matter.
I was there for the Focus Blast for the Houndoom and everything, but unfortunately Crow ended up just surrendering at that point, when at that point it was down to, I think it was 5-2 at that point. So
yes, 5-2, and I'm gonna you had up.
It was,
or they had Corviknight and Houndoom.
Yeah,
I think they had just into Houndoom.
Yeah, and
he got crowned out.
And I mean, I can only predict so much because in the world of Pokemon, it's Pokemon. Hacks, misses, crits, etc. All can happen. But like, I was prepared, to fire off a Focus Blast and Oko the Houndoom, and then chip away at this Corviknight till it died. I still had Ampharos up, and Ampharos could have sat there and clicked Discharge until that thing died. But that was the match. And I feel like, Iron Crown was the MVP because at the end of the day, he shut down that Articuno who was set up, who had the possibility to just go ahead and finish what it was doing. Because it already took out my Grimmsnarl. It was Terra Fairy, Terra Blast, 2-tap my Grimmsnarl.
I was actually surprised that Terra Blast didn't pick up the KO.
Max special defense, beneficial nature, 100%. We lived on like 7 HP. It might have been a low roll. I'm not going to hold you. But yeah, with that being said, Crow unfortunately did announce that he was leaving the ATBA this season. I've just been informed, or not just, but I've been informed that, life is life. It gets the best of us sometimes. And, sometimes you have to step away from other things to take care of other things, So, Crow will be missed, but we understand. Take care of what you got to do what you got to do. Focus on your mental, all that good stuff, come back whenever you feel like it, man. And in Crow's leaving, we did have another member come step in. They played a few seasons, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that Arcanine face so well. I'm not gonna hold you. So Mateo is joining the league. He's picking up Crow's spot. So shout out to Mateo. The Austrian Arkansas Austrian Arcanis.
Oh, I wonder if that's just like how.
Bro, I can barely speak English. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best.
It's cool. But they made some changes to Crow's team, and their final roster right now is Garchomp, Corviknight, Raikou, Tentacruel, Gardevoir, Pyroar, who's a Terra user, Bastiodon, who's also a Terra user, Iron Bundle, Brambleghast, and Scrafty, who can Terra as well. So the team is just like, and that looks a lot more like like a traditional draft league team. Your Fairy Dragon Steel.
Yeah. Your Fairy Dragon Steel, your Firewater Grass.
Yeah. Like
he hits good coverage all around the board, across the board. And not only is there coverage, he has some like star players. The problem with only using a small amount of trainers, which we do on purpose because we've gone to like 28, I think, or something. We've had a crazy amount of crazy amount, bro. And crazy. It's just easier to manage when we play with smaller. People end up ditching and dodging and whatever the case may be. So smaller the better. But when there is a smaller league, power goes undrafted.
Yeah, so much you come in like even this, right now. There's stuff is available.
There's not a single ogre pawn that's been drafted. D Knight is lurking in the shadows as we speak. Like she exists.
So much. Yeah, both Landorus forms. Like
there's a bunch of power, and Mateo, he took advantage of that with the Garchomp for sure, the Raikou for sure. Even picked up Bundle, which is a threat in its own. I'm really excited to see what Pyroar's doing. I love that Pokemon, despite it not being the best scaled it could be. It could be scaled way better. But that's just me and my little 2 cents. Bastiodon being drafted is amazing for me. I love Bastiodon so much. It's so bad. It's been so bad. But now with the ability to Terra, now with the ability to click Body Press, Bastiodon can do some stuff.
I'm waiting to see if it goes killless or picks up a couple.
I don't know if he's gonna necessarily take any kill leader spots or anything, but it definitely has a spot to play in. And the Scrafty as well. I love Scrafty to death, man. Just a cool Pokemon altogether. Really a dangerous mon. Don't let it set up on you. It will happen, and it's tough to handle. You're like, oh well, if it's Moxie, we just burn it. Well, then it runs shed skin, and the burn goes away whenever. It's a really good mon. So shout out to the draft. It was really nice. Last but not least on the schedule, we got trades to talk about. So the trades that happened.
That there.
Kansas City Spirits. They dropped Darkrai for Decidueye. No, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Darkrai for Greninja.
Darkrai for Greninja.
For Raging Bolt. Noivern for Galarian Weezing. And Morpeko for Dracoloak. And then
I see what I did there. I see what I did there. Desi's Terra is no longer dark. It's flying now. That's what it is. He swapped his Terra.
Okay. And then Raz dropped Enamorus for the newly available Gouging Fire from Crow's team. They had dropped the Raging Bolt, which is how wRenn was able to pick that up. And they dropped it for Hatterene. And they dropped Toxicroak for Toxtricity. And then Asterisk picked up dropped Tatsugiri for Hisuian Avalugg and gave it Terra typing. So
yeah, that's gonna be unique. Unique. Last on the list, I think, MVP race. Tusk is Tusk is still in the lead at 7 kills now, followed up by Lapras with 6, Crown at 4, Mousehold at 4, and Venusaur at 4. Those are the top 5. Then we have the schedule for next week.
Oh yeah, schedule next week is Asters Virtual Battlers versus Raz Pyroballs, Los Angeles Pyroballs, Kansas City Spirits versus Fargo Force, that's wRenn versus Rog, Lupin Spikemuth Thieves versus Rio's Jalisco Hawluchas, Triples Fryslan Furrets versus me, the Dallas Slither. I can't talk, bro. What is words? The Tampa Bay Mutini Chew versus Fly and the Blackthorn Kingdras. And the Alto Slush Rush, Zev versus Matt's Austrian Arcanine. So should be some good battles there.
Yep. Be on the lookout. Make sure you follow everyone. If not, make sure you follow this channel at least so you can get the highlights, the news, the updates of the league. We will see you guys next week. Make sure you tell us who's the MVP in your eyes this week. I'm Fly.
Yeah. I'm Bud.
We'll catch you guys next week. Peace. Bye.